Hey y'all, welcome to Bootorials. I'm your host Craig, and today we're going to talk about So when we talk about canting, it's all about altering and correcting the angles of your foot and lower leg. Now, the reason you make alterations to these angles is to fix any issues you might have with either your stance or your balance. So for example, inability to stay flat on your ski, like catching an inside edge, or if you're out of alignment, like say for example as you flex forward in your boot, one of your knees is tracking off. First thing we want to have a look at is your alignment. Now good alignment is when you flex forward in your boots, the center of your knee tracks forward over the top of your second toe. So essentially the center of the boot. So most of this gets sorted out with your footbed. So once you get your foot into that neutral position, if you still have any problems with your alignment, that's when we start making adjustments to this canting. Now, there's a few different options when you look to make these corrections, so let's take a look at a couple of them. So wedging, what you can do is start by installing a Varus wedge under the heel of the footbed, and in some cases also under the forefoot of the footbed. What that does is just help tilt your foot into that better position, and it's really effective, especially on feet that excessively pronate. Now another option is a canted volume reducer. Now what that is a full length shim that's going to go above your boot board and under your liner. And that gives you that tilt without affecting what's going on in the fit inside your liner. Now this is only effective in boots that have that little bit of extra space inside, because you will get raised up inside the boot. Also, you can get canting adjustment done to your bindings. It is kind of rare, but you can source some out there. Actually get wedges installed in between ski and binding to give you that tilt. But of course you will have to find a good tech to install them for you, and I don't find it to be particularly effective, especially on a free ski setup. So really only for those carved skis. Unlike cuff alignment, where we're just looking to match that angle of the lower leg, when we cant the cuff, what we're looking to do is actually force that leg into a better position. So what you'll do here is, using your rivets, we're going to tilt the cuff until it correctly aligns your knee over the center of the boot, or until you feel like you've got that flat balance on your skis. Now, if your cuff has little or no adjustment, what you can do to achieve the result you need is actually use a shim, and we're going to install that onto the shell and keep that in between shell and liner to give you that tilt. So then there's alterations that can actually be made to the sole of the boot. So for example, boot planing. Just kidding, you're not going to do this at home. This is a job for a specialist. So what they will do anyway is, with a jig, plane that new angle into the sole of your boot, and then on the toe and heel lugs they're going to add a resin, so that's going to match. Another option is to attach a canted toe and heel piece, and then to match that new angle with the toe and heel lug that's going to get routed down. With both of these solutions, the reason you're making that change to top and bottom of the toe and heel lugs is to keep that match to din, so you fit into your bindings properly. Now, those two really are the ultimate best solutions, as it's not really going to alter anything inside the boot, so you keep that really good, snug, high performance fit, and then get that angle done to the sole of the boot. Now it is a specialist job and will cost a bit of cash, so just keep that in mind. I personally would start with the wedging options, see how it feels, get your angles right, get your balance right, and then if you want to go to that more permanent solution, you can upgrade to that later. So after any alteration you make to this canting, go back and just double check your cuff alignment, because now it's going to affect how you're aligning through that cuff. Now the vast majority of you aren't even going to have to consider altering this canting, but it is a subject in boot fitting, so I wanted to go through it so you get a good understanding of it. Now it's really only going to be the minority that looks into getting this altered, but for the people that do need it done, it will have such a positive impact on their skiing. Alright, so thanks heaps for watching. Stay rad, be a patriot. Signing out.